Yo, what is good, YouTube? We are back with another video, and today is gonna be just a simple little, talk, psychology, explanation, just pretty much an unfiltered video, So let's just jump right into it. So, if you're wondering where I've been, obviously, I'm not streaming, I'm not live because I do not have an account right now. We had just lost our account. I think it was on Monday, and trade ended up playing out, but shit, I just didn't have enough capital slash funds in the account for you know that trade to pan out. Um, I took one L, and then market ended up going exactly where I had initially planned on it going. I took a trade in that direction. We went into a little bit of drawdown on that trade, and boom, stopped me out. Ran on that exact same trade. My original stop loss never got tapped, but that's where like this psychological part comes in, and you know I have to just sit there and think like, okay, it's not just that one trade that, oh, if I would have just hit that, I wouldn't have lost that account. No, it's the days before that. It's the it's the trading days when you take an L and you don't walk away and you make that L just so much more than what it should be. It's those days when you're up and you know an area of liquidity got taken, you're up a lot of money. And not that the money matters, but you're up just, two times, a one to two, a one to three. You're doubling your money, you're tripling your money that you're putting on. And, you don't take your fruit, you just don't even close the trade. It's those days. And this isn't about, always being a winner. You're not always a winner. You're gonna lose multiple accounts. You're gonna continue to trade, and trade and trade. Like I have this right here. It's eligible for a refund and back to funding. I could get right back in the same position for $600, but why would I do that? Like in my eyes, it's like I really see no point to do that. Honestly, I don't think you know I need to reactivate an account and trade all over that account. Right now, I'm just taking a mental break, like lose the account. All right, word, just take the trading week off, you know, reset and hone back in what you're supposed to do. Like, I'm not looking at this like, oh, you know, like, damn, bro, we passed in, we didn't get no payouts. Like, damn, man, like, I'm not looking at it like that. There's so much going on in, my head and, just trading wise and, day to day life to the point where this was a whole entire like realization. Like this account, what I learned on this account was so much. Like I've learned so much just based off, passing another account. Like I'm not on the screen for no reason. I'm just showing like I passed an account September, and then I passed an account. I passed four accounts copy trading, and I passed them in like 2 3 days, and was copy trading for fundeds. And you know, the last funded that I had on this like run, that lasted me months. And I learned so much from that. Like I'm not saying I'm new to this, but I'm still like when I can reset, get humbled and humble myself too. I look at like where I'm truly at and I'm like, damn, like, this is only 3 months ago, 4 months ago. Like, that's not a lot of time. And that's not a lot of market days, especially when you take breaks and you're not trading every day. It's not a lot of market days, like, to be like, yeah, I know what I'm doing and I know I'm gonna make it off of this account. Like, it's not enough. There's still always loose screws. And, it's how are you gonna tighten them? Sometimes you gotta lose that shit for you to be like, oh, well, that's what I did wrong. Because I'll tell you, and I'll be the one to be transparent and admit it. I know exactly where I went wrong on this account. Look, I was up. I had a lot of bread. Like I could have took my payout and could have kept trading. Simple as that. Like I literally could have kept doing that, kept trading, and it would have been that simple. But in my head, there's so much going on farther than just, oh, let me take my payout, let me just keep trading. And for me to like be transparent, like I'm trying to build a damn empire with this shit. You feel me? Like I'm trying to grow this shit to the point where, not that I don't need to work, but to the point where I'm setting myself up, I'm setting my family up, you know, I'm setting up my freaking my kids up, you feel me? My kids up. Like that's how I'm trying to be with this, but you feel me? Like when you really look at like when you really like hold that mirror up and it's like, damn, like, are you gonna do that in a month? No. Are you gonna do that in 2 months? No. And that's exactly where I just went so wrong about this. Like trying to rush it all, trying to force it all into one account, and you feel me? Like that's just it just happens. So I don't look at this like, oh, this is over, this is it, and my trading doesn't work. Like no, you know, like and that will never ever ever be the way I look at this. There's so many days I go into the market, I take one trade, I win. I go into the market, I take one trade, I'm break even. It's what I do after that, and that's exactly what I've been just realizing. It's like what I do after that. Like, does my ego hurt to the point where I gotta take another trade? And then subconsciously I'm in that trade and I know I probably shouldn't have took this trade and now I'm down. Now is my ego really shattered? Because now if it's shattered, I'll keep trading. And I had a couple of those just like, not like full on blow to account, but like little breakout days to the point where I'm giving back all these profits that it took me maybe one trading week to grow, but I'm giving it back in a day. So now I come back into the next day, perform the same exact thing I know I'm supposed to be doing, and boom, it works. And I'm like, oh, journal, write this down, go about my day. But it's the days when you lose or you break even, and or the market conditions are just like poor, and you shouldn't take a trade, but I'm gonna just slap on 200 right here, 250, 300. In reality, that's not trading. Like trading, yes, you're supposed to buy and sell, and you're supposed to trade, but the psychological part to trading is to know how to walk away, know how to deal with break even, know how to play defense in the market, de-size a little bit, know how to be aggressive, and upsize in a situation where you can make, X more and position yourself the right way to still, lose a little bit. And if that works, like you're scaling, and it's just knowing when to do that. And me personally, based upon like, I passed this count in February in Puerto Rico, and I didn't activate it right away. I didn't activate it right away. I activated it when no, yeah, I started it this past it. I think it was like February, like I think it was like 18th or something like that. Didn't even trade on it till shit. I'm thinking like I can't even. It might have been like I only was trading. I didn't finish 4 full weeks on that past eval. So like this eval that I just lost or express, I wasn't even on it for 4 full weeks. But those those 22, 23 days, whatever, how many was there, how much I learned and how much knowledge, it feels like wow, like because it's proven to me already that I can trade, I can pass an account, I can get payouts. Like I already proved that to myself. That's not the hard part in trading anymore. It's wrestling with yourself, and it's like fighting that ego day to day, daily, and like, just little things. So I mean, to be honest, you know, I would say just psychologically, I was there. I had a losing week. One day I went into the market. The first day I passed this account, I activated it. First day I lose 800. I'm down 800. For the rest of the week, I lost 11 more dollars. And I honed in everything. Next week, I came in sharp because I knew that's what I had to do. I made $2,000 in a week. And I'm up. You feel me? I'm up on this account. Boom, I come into these next days. And, that's where that just, it just started going, it started going to shit. But that was because my psychological, how long could I have stayed consistent, stayed, making that right decision, boom, accepting what's in front of me and then walking away. And it's like, damn, take those weeks, take those days where you messed up, where you shouldn't have you should have just walked away. One loss, just walk away. It's not your day. Doesn't matter. We're not working with, buffers that are $8,000, $10,000 yet, to the point where, okay, maybe I could take two trades. Maybe I was just wrong. Now the second one, oh, you know what? I'm wrong. I'm out now. You feel me? Like, but we're not there yet. And it's like, if I would have just took one loss on all those red days, and I had the chance to. My subconscious told me, well, we're down a little bit. Like, maybe you want to get out of here. I would still be on that account with hella profit. And it just makes you think, like, damn, like, when you were in that position, like, why didn't you just do that? Why couldn't you just think like that? And that's what growing is. That's what trading is. You have to grow. You have to learn from your mistakes. And I literally just seen something like, mistakes don't make the man or woman. The man makes the mistakes. You feel me? So, like, what you do doesn't create you. It doesn't form you, and that's not just you. No, the mistakes make you. You feel me? Well, the man makes it. So when you're making this, it's just you. That's just you in that moment. That's you in that particular moment making those decisions. And what you make on a day-to-day basis, every decision, it counts. And I'm passionate again. I'm excited. I'm excited to get back onto an eval. You know, trade these accounts. I'm probably going to be copy trading. These evals that I'm about to get soon. I'm just taking a break, and I'm not gonna just start on a Thursday or a Friday. I'm gonna take my time, come back Monday, fresh and ready, and like, processed, super super processed, and just come back to what I know I'm supposed to be doing. You feel me? Like, I've proven it on my channel. You know, I know how to, not just make money, but I know how to trade. I know how to be a trader that I am and that I should be. And just blowing an account, that's it's not me. And I know that's not me. Like, there's so many accounts I blew before getting my payouts, and then on top of that, you know, in the midst of getting my payouts, then boom, after that I pull an account. So you feel me? So it's like, there's always gonna be that psychological barrier that's like, all right, well, it gotta happen now, it gotta happen now, it gotta happen now. But that's what I've learned from this account. From this account, you feel me? This account right here. Like, here's my consistency days. Like, here's all the days, and here's how it went. So I passed it on, yeah, on the 17th. So it took me, it literally took me 2 weeks. It took me 2 weeks to pass the account. 11 days, you know? And from what I learned, look at my worst day. My worst day was not over $500. And from what I truly learned, you know, it just showed me that nothing has to happen when you want it to happen. Nothing has to happen when you want it to. Because what is right in front of you is for you to be learning every single day, you know? And like, I'm like, as a day trader and as I've been day trading, I'm still getting, in that point in time where I'm disconnecting from the money, we get tied up in it because it's a number, it's a target you gotta hit. And then after that, you gotta have X amount of winning days. And then, oh, after that, how much money do I want to take out when I'm up? Like, everything is money, but I'm slowly just getting disconnected from the money as I continue to trade. And that's why I'm just making this video for anybody that's in, these positions. Like, you're gonna pass an account, you're gonna get a payout, if you love this, right, you're gonna pass an account, but then on that past account, you're gonna fail before you get a payout. That happened to me in September. And some of these accounts, well, I think three of them, yeah, three of these joints in November. Mind you, while I was copy trading them, and then boom, it just happened again. And it's like there's a solution, right? There's a solution to this. Disconnect from the money. Stop wanting everything at the time you want it, and take what's right in front of you every single day for what it is, and love that. Like, cherish the knowledge that it's bringing you. Because, like, from now, from what I'm experiencing and just seeing this, like, I'm super, super, super happy. Like, my fault. But I'm super, super happy with, just the results and what I'm putting out there for, like, my viewers, and, the people, you guys, and everyone who's, just tapping in and, showing support and love, bro. And, I couldn't be more pleased with what I'm doing, because it's like, it's transparent, it's real, and it's not like I'm gonna teach, it's not like my videos are gonna be like just straight capping. Like, if you see me lose, you're gonna see me lose, but you're gonna, maybe you can take something from that, because I know I take something from it. Like, for instance, like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I had a $1,000 losing day. You feel me? And that, what do you take from that? Like, okay, word, you just didn't know how to lose that day. You did not accept the loss in that day. That simple, right? Come back the next day, make 800 or something. Boom, Friday, bam, lose 300. But I lose it once. I just lose it once. I didn't keep trying to fight, Didn't keep trying to fight it. And it's like, I accepted the loss that day. It's just like, take what's in front of you day by day, and you will grow and you will learn. Trading is just psychological. Once you know what you're doing, you have the understanding of what to do. It's just psychological. And everything will be okay. At the end of it, everything will be okay. So, like, I literally just seen a video. I was watching a lot of videos today, and just like trying to retain as much knowledge. Sorry. But in the video, it was like, you will make it. You'll make it if this is your plan. Like, if this is your only plan, and there's no plan B, and you're never gonna stop, you're gonna make it. Like, you will. You don't know when, though. And that's really my problem. That I don't know when factor is, like, because who doesn't want to change their life, you know? But your life doesn't change in one day or one night. It changes every single day with the decisions that you make. It's slowly, what I began to understand. And that's why I'm just taking this break, so that, without trading, I can make these decisions, and better my life without trading. So that now when I am trading, it's going to be even more simpler and easy to just retain and push. That into the market. I come into the market, I know what I'm looking for, I know what I want to see happen. I target an area, I put on my risk, I win or I lose, or I go draw, and I just take that with a grain of salt. I accept the knowledge it's trying to give me, and I walk away. You know, I'm trying to just make sure I do the right thing, and I focus on good habits, not bad ones, because bad ones will lead to, it just will lead to your failures. And if you can learn from your failures, you're only going to get better. So, again, that's where I'm going to be with this, and, coming back next week stronger than ever. So, obviously, I'm not going to be streaming. I haven't streamed in like 2 days, not tomorrow, not Friday. I might make a model video. I don't know. I might make, another psychological video, or just anything, you know. But at the moment, we're just taking a little break, and we will be back. So, other than that, I mean, just a little talk, 20 minutes. Hope everyone here, takes something from this video and can learn from it. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Thank you all for watching. We just hit 100 subs. I'm overly grateful. Like, that was one of my biggest milestones. Like, just creating a YouTube channel, growing it to 100 subs. I it sounds crazy, but I was lost for words when I seen that. I was just like, bro, this is unreal. Like this is like this is like my dream, you know. YouTube was always my dream, but like, you know, obviously trading, I found trading and that became just a absurd passion and, you know, obsession with trading. I literally, you know, I love to trade because it's not because the money in it, but it's just gonna make you a better person. It'll form you to the best version that you have to be if you want to make it in trading. So, you know, other than that, I thank everybody, thank all the supporters out there liking at the vids, you know, tuning into the streams and 100 subs. Like, it's crazy. Soon, you know, it probably will be 200, 300, 4, who knows, 5, 1,000. Like, bro, it's an unreal number after you hit that. And, you know, just overly grateful. Um, so yeah, other than that, again, I appreciate everybody here. Thank you for watching. I'll be back next week, you know, trading, live streaming, 9:30 every single morning, like always, you know. But this time, and you know, going forward, I'm gonna make sure every single day that I emphasize it, you know. I emphasize it because this is like it's gonna be the most real that you'll ever see, you know, and I'm trying to make it that way. So other than that, thank you all. I'll see you guys soon. Till next time.